Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Butter What Show. I'm Pat Regan. This is my lovely assistant to the regional co-host, Brian C. Moses. And we're going to talk again about pick and play stuff, because every month we seem to talk about pick and play stuff, because right behind me here, I've put together the open source Lumen pick and place from opulo.io. I'm doing a bad job, Tubby. I've got the machine put together. I have the very basics of OpenPNP, but it goes and finds the home with the switches, just like your 3D printer usually does. And then it goes to approximately where it thinks the center home location is. And it looks down with the camera and it zeroes right in. It goes tick, 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 and exactly finds the home position.
Okay.
But that's as far as I've gotten.
Why is that a bad job? That sounds
Well,
like a
I
good
feel
job
like
to me.
I've been procrastinating. I think it's been at that point for, it feels like 2 weeks now. And I feel like I should have made a little bit of progress by now, but I've been procrastinating, Tubby. I've been writing blog posts, I've been playing with laptops, I've been drinking coffee, roasting coffee, I don't know.
I think you've been doing a good job.
Stephen Hawes, the lovely fellow at opulo.io who designed and makes this open source pick and place machine that we have back here, he posted a video during the week this week, or was it the end of last week? Well, it doesn't really matter when.
It doesn't, yeah.
For those who don't know, what a pick and place does is you have a printed circuit board, like the motherboard in your computer, or like an Arduino is a circuit board, and there's a robot that uses a little vacuum nozzle to grab parts and put them in the correct places and orientations on those boards for you, so you don't have to do it manually. It's way more accurate than I am. I'm very bad at this. And we're going to use it to populate some LED ring boards. Hopefully lots of them.
Hopefully lots.
But what you need is to populate this. This board has 200 LEDs on it. And the LEDs come on a reel with parts in little trays along that reel. And you need a way to get those into the machine. So what Steven has here is what I would be using initially are just these trays that fit the tape, and you use your hands and you feed the reel, a strip of LEDs, those really are LEDs, through the thing, and OpenPNP will go and grab those parts one at a time, and when it runs out, it'll say, hey, Tubby,
give me some more.
And then you might have to
PC
locate
load
them.
letter.
The right way to do this is to use a feeder. It's got a little motor in it and little sensors, and every time a part is picked out, the feeder will advance one click. Not a click, but one's position, like on a film strip. You remember film strips in elementary school, Brian?
Elementary school? We're not that young, Pat.
What do you mean we're not that young? They were all through. We had them forever. But I remember it was exciting in elementary school to be picked as the kid to turn the knob when the tape went beep and you moved to the next thing. But that's kind of the idea. There's a robot that turns the knob and clicks at a head one. What Steven has designed here, and it's not his idea, he was clearly said that in the video, but this new device is a manual automatic feeder for about $1.30 in filament. It's ingenious. Every time the machine wants to pick up a part, it drops the nozzle into the strip, pushes it forward one notch, and then grabs the next piece. So your tool, very much like that $3 touch probe for the 3D printer we did a few weeks ago, months ago now. So you don't need a motor, you don't need a complicated system. The robot physically
Manually
does
feeds
it.
it for itself. Yeah.
It's neat because it's $1.50. It's neat. I think it's especially neat because if you decide I need one more reel on my machine, I don't have to wait for parts to arrive. I don't have to assemble a feeder. I don't have to buy a more expensive, already assembled feeder. I could just turn on the 3D printer and I can have one in a few hours.
Yeah. Or if you were thinking about buying the expensive one, there's going to be an add-on for the Lumen PNP for an automated feeder you could print this up and say, hey, how much would I benefit from this? And then decide
do I need
to go
it?
ahead. It's not exactly a try it before you buy it, but you get to experience the concept before you buy it. Which
You
I
do,
think
and
is
I could see
really
mixing.
neat.
I don't know how easy it is to do an OpenPNP, but I could see mixing both. Like our board has each board has 21 LEDs, and this one doesn't. But we've had designs that had one capacitor and 21 LEDs. Maybe you put the one capacitor on the slow this feeder, the $1.30 feeder, and then you put your LEDs that you need to pick lots of them on your expensive feeder. Because what can happen with that is the machine comes over, picks the part, and as it's on its way to do the work and place that, the feeder can advance on its own without help. So it improves your speed, and that's
faster.
And it could be very important. I don't know how important it is for what we're doing, but it's important. And I don't know how much Stevens feeders at Opulo.io are going to cost. They're not quite ready yet, but other feeders, comparable feeders, they're about $100. But that might be from a real, commercial company, not an open source feeder. But it doesn't matter. If we filled the Opulo LumenPNP with these boards, we could run the machine for 8 hours, and it would need almost 5,000 LEDs. So we might need we might need 5 feeders just to be able to load it once in the morning. It'd be nicer if you didn't have to pay $100 for every feeder, right? It'd be nice to pay $1. But look at it go. He's just picking them up and dropping them off in the pooper over here, just letting go for the test, for the demo, I think it's fantastic. What did we talk about with the OpenPNP last time? Did we talk about how easy it was to put together?
I don't remember. It's been
a month,
3 weeks. Oh, no, not even a month.
Even if we haven't talked, let's just say it. I put the kit together. The kit is about $1,140, I think, shipped or plus shipping. I don't want to lie to you. It might be plus shipping, but that's fine. You have to 3D print about an entire spool of filament worth of parts. Yeah. And it took me 3 or 4 days to put it together, but I was not rushing, Tubby. I don't know if you remember what I was doing, but I'd go through part of a step and then I'd just walk away and do something else, and then
You were very deliberate in your assembly.
Well, I was deliberate, but I was also not in a hurry. It's not like I sat down and said, we have to have this together in 4 hours and just started. Yeah. Anytime if my back got sore from bending over too much or, whatever, I just would get up and I think this is impressive. The kit's only been available for, a few months now, and the documentation was fantastic. I only goofed up 2 things during the assembly, and there was one thing where I did it backwards, and it all went very well. It was very smooth, very easy to follow. But now I'm on the OpenPNP configuration, and everybody says that's the hard part of the job.
Is that why you're procrastinating?
Yeah. That
makes sense.
Yeah. It's more difficult.
I can get behind that.
And I'm getting an error that I followed the documentation, and then I'm up to the part. I've been up to this part for like 2 weeks. I just haven't really done anything. I got up to the part where I'm supposed to calibrate the backlash, and I get an error that the machine's not moving at the speed it expects to or something. It's not a big deal. I either missed something, or there's something different about my Linux install, or maybe I need to flash the updated firmware on the motherboard, there's a lot of little things it could be. Right. But I did check, and my backlash is not compensated well. You can jog it one way and then jog it back, and it overshoots by a little bit.
Okay.
So that's backlash that needs to be compensated for. How should we end this episode, Tubby?
We should say what a good job you've been doing.
I've been doing a fantastic job, Brian.
I think you've been doing a fantastic job.
If you think I've been doing a good job, let us know in the comments. If you think I've been doing a bad job, like this video and subscribe to the comments. And if you're excited about a pick and place, you should totally check out the Lumen pick and place, because
for sure
it's a good value, and it seems like a good machine so far from somebody who hasn't picked and placed anything yet. But I've been watching in Steven's Discord, and there's people picking and placing all kinds of stuff already. People who are more motivated than me are doing a good job picking and placing boards within about a week of the machine arriving. So I think they're doing
That's
a good
impressive.
job. I think so
I
too.
I don't think I would be picking and placing that fast.
No, well, I'm not either. So
I don't think I'd be doing it as fast as you are.
good. Then I'm doing a
You're,
very good job.
You said you goofed up 2 things. I think I did all the 3D printing, and I think I goofed up more than 2 parts. So
I'll bet.